Okay, and we are back to the bath, latrine, and shower house. So please excuse my poor editing. I got cut off there at the end of the last video. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to head over this way to where another set of concrete slabs are. And again, here's that. There's another one of those ditches. There's, I believe, they're storm drain ditches. And up here, it's hard to see, but up here, that stone line storm drain is concrete. And I find this fascinating because there's an old video. There you can see it there. It's all covered in moss and everything, but there's a video you can look up and watch also on YouTube that someone posted of Camp Michaux, the church camp, and it's a home movie from some kind of men's gathering that they had at the camp. And there's no date in the video, but judging by the looks of the cars in the video and the fact that you can see the guard towers are still up when that home movie was made, that puts the date of the video sometime between like 1947 and maybe 1951, sometime in that period, because the church camp took the guard towers down in the early 50s. But that video, it's really cool. It's about 20 minutes long, and there's no sound, but you can see, all the buildings. You see it starts out from a person taking a home movie from in the car coming up Michaux Road, and you can see the buildings there and everything, and you see this concrete lined ditch along the main road. And I always wondered, where it was. You can't see it now, but I guess over the years, it might have got bulldozed or whatever when they were cleaning the place up. But that part that we saw back there a few seconds ago, that was like the last remnants of that concrete line storm ditch. I just think it's neat. But here's a concrete slab. I don't know, this might have been a pavilion. There's a piece of looks like part of an old appliance or something. This looks like it might have been a pavilion or something, because those metal supports there with the holes in them look like there would have been maybe wooden posts in there. I do know the church camp had a basketball court and I think a tennis court also, so it could have been that. I don't know exactly what it was, but now we're coming back up to the main. We're back up to the main road coming in, and it looks like they're in the middle of. Looks like they're still clearing this area out, because there's piles of brush everywhere, and they got that nice and cleaned up. I lost my train of thought here. So we're gonna head up this way, and this here, we're coming to where there used to be a building on the right hand side. There's like this, looks like a sidewalk there, and there used to be, and that goes the other way, but this right here used to be a building, and some of these buildings, they had names for them. And during the church camp, the building that would have sat right here, where that tree is, that was called Calvin. I don't know why they named the building Calvin, but they called that building Calvin. And you can see that building in that old church camp video. And now we come up here, And that's where the building was, right there. This is hard to do, the editing, the voice over the video, since I lost the audio, so I don't remember exactly what I was saying at the time. So please bear with me. I'll just point out everything as I remember. And let's see here. So there's the sidewalk. So off to the right, if I show it, yeah, off to the right there, that's the foundation there to the old, that was the recreation building. Those concrete stumps there. It's part of the old rec building. Right there. And they have these spruce trees planted. All them trees you're seeing here, those big spruce trees, those were planted by the CCC camp. So there's some things up here we're going to check out. And you can see they've been working hard at getting this cleaned out. There's some stuff that you can see right up here where we're going. And this is right next to that POW marker, memorial thing. And that's looking down the main road towards where the camp was. And over here, this is the base to a water fountain. Oh, yeah, that's the base to a water fountain, a drinking fountain that used to be here, that used to be there. And I don't know, I think that was put in by the church camp. It might have been there for the CCC camp, I'm not sure. But this thing over here, whatever this was definitely put in by the church camp, because it has a date scratched into the concrete, 1948. So whatever that was put in by the church camp. And then down here, here's this retaining wall that the CCC camp built. Right there. And that thing's in really nice condition for being 90 some years old. Now I'm sure that over the years, the POWs and the people at the church camp, they might have done some maintenance to the wall. They might have repointed it and stuff, but it's in really good condition. It's nice to see these old things hold up like that. And there's that retaining wall going down to where the education building was. So I think that's really cool. You see that there, and that big spruce tree right there, that was probably just a little tree that they planted there along the road at one time. Now the thing's gigantic. All those spruce trees that they planted there are huge now. I mean, you got to figure they're 90 some years old. All those trees just planted in a row. Really big, nice big trees. It'd have been cool to see what it looked like, back in the 30s when they first planted them. I mean, besides, you can see them on the pictures, but it would have been neat to see firsthand. And then it looks like another foundation there to something. And then there's two little steps going up, back up to main road. And then, like I said, that there's the foundation to the old rec hall. It's what's left of it. It was a long, narrow building. And I think I read it had like a pool table. They had a pool table in there, and you know, it was a place where the guys could go after work and relax, unwind, play some pool. I don't think the CCC. No, I don't imagine the CCC camp had. I don't imagine they had any kind of bar or anything. But yeah, see those two wooden stumps there? I just noticed them, and I think they're part of the building, because look how they're spaced apart. You couldn't see this before, but I find it really interesting how they're spaced apart like that. And if you look from this side, it looks like they're cut flat. You can see how they're cut flat. So I don't know if this was like maybe that was a doorway. And you can see they have notches. They have notches cut in them there. So it was definitely part of the building. Maybe there was a window. I don't know. But it's definitely part of the building. And I'm guessing that notch in the concrete there, that's probably where the floor joist probably rested there, and then went across and then rested on those concrete pillars there. So they just had a few inches of like crawl space, I imagine, underneath the buildings. So that probably didn't help, you know, as the buildings aged and got older, with moisture and everything being underneath there. And we're going to go back out, and then we're going to come up to one of the centerpieces, I like to say, for this camp. One of the coolest features here, and this was built by the CCC camp, and it should be coming into the frame here any second. And that's the CCC water fountain. That to me is one of the neatest things I've ever seen out in the middle of the woods. That fountain was built by the CCC camp, and it was a water fountain at one time. Water did flow from it. It was I imagine it was a nice feature, probably a great place to sit and relax, hear the sound of the water. And you can see the trees, how they're planted in a perfect line going up to the fountain. You know, all those spruce trees. You see that picture there. If you look at old pictures of the camp, you'll see a similar picture like that, except the trees aren't nearly as tall as they are now. So we're going to walk up and take a closer look at it. There's a lot of information that I don't know about the fountain. There's things I'm hoping to find out. This video here is about to end, so we're going to end this, and we'll pick up for the next part where we leave off.